How to become a parent and survive. Hey everyone! Today, let's talk about something a lot of us think just happens on its own, but honestly, it's way more complicated than it seems. Becoming a parent. See, many of us, me included, kind of imagine that when our kid is born, some magical parent gene will just switch on inside us. Like suddenly we know all the secrets of raising a child, loving them right, and just handling everything perfectly. But let's be real. The world of humans is nothing like the world of animals. For animals, instinct is a powerful, automatic force. Even if it's their very first time, animal mums and dads just know what to do. No need for books, no late-night Google searches. It's like they were born with a built-in manual. That's what we call animal instinct. Nature's pre-installed parenting software. But us humans? Nope. We arrive in this world with a mix of desires, needs, family stories, and weird baggage, but not with an instinct that just takes over and tells us exactly how to be a mum or dad. We've got sexual drives and the urge to protect our kids, but those are shaped way more by our minds, society, and our own past than by some ancient biological autopilot. There's more. Sure, part of who we are comes from our genes, that whole genetic lottery. But nature didn't just hand off the whole parenting gig to DNA. A child's growth? It's a mix. Genetics, the environment, culture, and maybe most importantly, the choices we actually make as parents. Here's the wild part. Human babies are some of the most helpless little beings on the planet. For months, let's be honest, years, they can't do a thing for themselves. If no one takes care of them, they literally have zero chance of survival. And get this, from a biology standpoint, if human babies stayed in the womb long enough to walk out on their own, they'd be so big, no mother could ever stand up straight again. She'd have to crawl like a bear. So babies show up early and need a lot of care. And caring for a baby, it's way too much for one person. Mums can't do it all. There's exhaustion, possible health issues, or simply the risk of having another baby soon. That's why, throughout history, the survival of babies has depended on teamwork. Dad, extended family, community parenting is a team sport for humans. This is actually why, in sociology, we see the whole idea of family, kinship, clans, even tribes. It's all about the long-term, collective care of kids. Unlike most animals, where mom and dad peace out after birth, in humans, raising a kid is just the beginning of the story. Fun fact, humans are basically the only species where grandparents, uncles, aunts, and even whole communities get involved in raising the next generation. But not every family is the same. Across the world, different times and cultures have come up with all sorts of family structures. Patriarchy, matriarchy, living with the father's side, living with the mother's side, or wild mixes of both. And in some matriarchal cultures, it wasn't about women being above men. It was just that mum's side of the family counted for more. Like, in some places, your uncle on your mum's side was more important than your dad's brother. But here's what the science, and honestly, modern life, tells us. The healthiest setup for kids today is the so-called nuclear family. One mum, one dad, and a few kids. And even then, here's a super important point. For the first year, or at least 12 to 18 months, kids need one steady, constant caregiver. If there's a parade of different people caring for them, or if the main caregivers keep changing their style, the kid gets confused, and that shaky, insecure feeling can stick with them for life. That's why, in those early months, it's best if mom is the main constant, and dad's main job is to support mom, not to compete or keep changing the rules. If dad tries to jump in and fix things or go against mom's way, it just messes with the kid's trust in the world. After 18 months, teamwork kicks in. Now both parents and even teachers, family and community can get involved. But the final say in how a child is raised, that should always stay with the main parents. Let's talk about something a bit uncomfortable. In a lot of cultures, we grow up thinking that what other people think about our family is more important than our own real happiness. We get so busy looking good for the neighbors, sometimes we forget if we're actually happy ourselves or if our kids are. But here's the truth. Raising your child for the approval of others, that's the fastest way to lose your own joy, and your child's too. So here comes the big question. Are we all really ready to be parents? Let's be honest. Many people become parents just because of family pressure or tradition, not because they're actually ready, emotionally or physically. Some of us, maybe we're just not built for marriage or parenting right now. Maybe we're still healing from our own childhood hurts, or we're not up for deep connection or commitment yet. Some people get so burned out raising their younger siblings that the idea of having their own kids just doesn't sound appealing. Or maybe the world just feels too hard or pointless to bring a new life into it. And some people? They might talk a lot about loving kids, but it's actually just a defense. They're hiding what they really feel, maybe even from themselves. So if you're really thinking about becoming a parent, here are some questions you need to ask yourself. Not your parents, not your culture, yourself. Am I healthy, physically and mentally? Is my relationship with my partner and family strong and stable? Are both of us honestly, totally on board with having a child? No pressure, no guilt trips. Are we financially able to care for a child, at least at a basic level? Do I really have the time, energy, and patience for a child, or am I barely making it through my own day as it is? Do I have the support of family and community, or am I trying to do this totally alone? Do I honestly feel like bringing a child into my life will add meaning and joy, not just stress? These questions, they're not about what other people want or expect. They're about being real with yourself, being responsible, and making a conscious choice. At the end of the day, becoming a parent isn't just adding one more person to your house, it's teaming up with the universe to create a brand new human being. And our job, to help that little person become the creator of their own story. So before you jump in, take a breath, check in with yourself, and remember, you don't have to be a perfect parent, just a present, real one. Let's raise kids who know they are loved for who they are, not for who the world wants them to be. Thanks so much for watching to the end. If this video helped you or gave you something to think about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments too. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.